Now I'm going to show you how to make a margarita cupcake. Now the margarita cupcake is just a lime cupcake. The margarita part happens when we put the tequila lime frosting on top of the cake. So what we're going to do is we're going to already added 2/3 cup of sugar, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the zest to the sugar. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of lime zest inside, and I'm going to mix that and allow that lime and that sugar to blend together so the sugar takes on that essence of lime. Okay, we'll go ahead and start this right now. You start to smell that lime. Okay, I'm going to slow that down, and then we're going to add the butter to the sugar. The amount of butter we're going to use is 3 ounces or 6 tablespoons of butter. All right. Now I'm going to add 2 drops of green food color just to give it a little nice shade of green. So, okay. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add 2 eggs. One at a time, we're going to add 2 eggs to the mix. Okay. This is a good time to stop the engine and go ahead and scrape the bowl. Now we're going to add the next egg. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Now like I said before, this is real lime juice, not canned juice. So it's going to have a much more better flavor. Now that's mixed in, we're going to add the dry ingredients. Now this consists of 1 1/3 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. And you can just add all the ingredients at one time, since it's a very small batch. Now this is actually roughly about a dozen cupcakes. You possibly get 14 if you use the right type of thing like a scoop. This is a number 16 scoop. If you use this, you can possibly get about 14 cupcakes. Now, the addition of yogurt. Now I prefer a low-fat plain yogurt, and you need a half a cup. Just go ahead and plop that in. I'm going to scrape and then we'll mix it one more time, and then we'll be done. We can now scoop it into the cupcake papers and put it in the oven. Now these bake at 350 degrees and take exactly 18 minutes to bake. And they come out perfect every time. Okay, and I take my blue scoop and I make a nice even portion. It's right to the top. And I just carefully place it inside the cupcake, and that's it. A lot of people spend a lot of time with a spoon filling these things up. If you just go to, like, say, Smart & Final or any restaurant supply store, they have these readily available, and you could buy these and use these instead. And it's great for cookies too, if you want to do cookies. It's a great way to portion cookies. All right. Now, as soon as we get this thing filled, we're going to pop this in the oven for 18 minutes at 350 degrees. And then I'm going to show you how to make the most amazing icing you ever had. Tequila lime. Voila. Welcome back. We have what I call my favorite cupcake ever. I developed this cupcake and it turned out amazing. What we're going to do basically is I have here a lime cupcake. As you can tell, each cupcake has zest in the cupcake as well. So it's lime cupcake, lime zest, very, very amazing, fresh and moist cakes. What we're going to do now is we're going to make the icing to go on top of these babies. Now this is going to be awesome. What we're going to do is I have fresh lime juice. Now I don't use the lime juice in jars. I actually squeeze this juice. What we're going to do is we're going to do equal parts lime and tequila into this measuring cup. So what we're going to do is I'm going to measure out 1/3 of a cup of lime juice. Okay. And another 1/3 a cup of tequila. Maybe a little bit more, just a little bit more. There we go. Add a selection. All right. Now we're going to add vanilla. And that's about 2 teaspoons of vanilla right there. Okay. And my favorite part, once again, the zest. Now the zest is the outer rind of a lime. And what you do is you just take out that very, very edge of it. You don't go too deep in it. You don't grab any of the pith. The pith is very bitter. You just want the very outer edge. And that's where all the flavor is, all the oil. And when you do that, you add it to this mix here. All that tequila and the lime is going to just suck out any of that flavor and leave a nice balance. All right, I just added right there about a tablespoon of zest. Okay, now we're going to allow that to sit for a while to allow the zest to bouquet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add 5 ounces of butter, about 10 tablespoons of butter into the mixer. And then we're going to add some sifted powdered sugar. Now we're adding a total of 3 cups to the mixing bowl, and then we're going to mix the butter and the powdered sugar until blended. Now we're at a total of 6 cups of powdered sugar. Okay, now we're 9 cups right now of powdered sugar, and this should be about it. All right, we are done incorporating the sugar. It took 11.5 cups of powdered sugar to finish that recipe. Now this recipe would be designed for 2 dozen cupcakes if you were to have a big, large party. So it's definitely a good amount. Take a look at it. It has a very nice beige color to it, as well as a nice flakes of lime. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to scrape down this paddle. Now sometimes the lime will stick to the paddle. What you're going to do is you're going to take your spatula, you're going to take and clean your paddle up, and you're going to give it a little stir just to mix it around. So that way you get nice flakes of green. Okay. Now you've got the icing ready to go. You get your piping bag ready, and with the tip ready to go. Fold it outward and cup it around your hand like I showed you last time. And you're going to keep your hand in a C and keep it around the rim. That way it keeps it open. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your icing and fill it in. Now make sure you don't fill your bag too much, because the fuller the bag, the harder it is to get the icing out of the bag. So let's not fill the bag too high. Go about halfway. Like this right here would be good enough to do. So what you do is you're going to hold it with your forefinger and your thumb, and you're going to twist, like so. As you twist, the icing will come forward. You'll see it come to the tip here in a second. There, see? There's the icing ready to go. And you're going to hold it in your palm just that same way. And you're going to ice your cupcake. Now I usually do it upright like this. I start in the center and I work my way around. Boom. Work in the center, outward, and around the circle. Boom. Okay, start in the center, you work your way out and around, and up, and stop in the middle. Same way, up and around, in the middle. Done. Now, for added extra bonus, I like to add a little bit of margarita salt. Now make sure you add a little bit. You don't want to go too much with it. It's just to, you know, create the margarita feel. And you just lightly hit it with some margarita salts, like so. Okay. And then to decorate, you do all sorts of things. You could do something like this. Okay. Or, get creative. You can do an like an S shape, like so. You can stick it upright like this, like that. Or some people just like to lay it over the top, like that. But anyway, they all come out delicious. And that's my margarita cupcake. And that's for you to try. You know you want to try it. I do. What I do is I like to do a little circle like this to kind of widen up the hole. Okay? And then I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly, lightly push on the bag because it doesn't take much pressure. And boom, there it is. Okay?